G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD and welcome... Go away. No. Far out. G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD and welcome back to another episode of FUT Champions. Fuck off! Go away. I'll call you back later. Fuck off. G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD and welcome back to another episode of FUT Draft. Fuck off. I'm sick and tired of you. Shut up! Oh shit. Guess who else is getting a new phone? G'day guys, Aussie FIFA H. Damn it. D. G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD and welcome back to episode 5 of FUT Draft to Glory. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button to help it grow. And let's try and hit 10 likes on this episode. That would be absolutely or muchly appreciated. Yeah. Not much else to say. Wow, seriously nothing to say. Quality YouTuber. Anyway guys, as you see, I'm showing you the clips to what we indeed sold from episode 4 of Draft to Glory. We did indeed pack that inform, as you saw in episode 4, inform clue, and just, that was insane, like, in a 5k pack as well. And I would have understood if it was in a 50k pack or, you know, a 25k pack, but in a 5k pack where you get one rare, it's just insane. But as you see, we had a few things sold on the transfer market, transfer list. We also have a few silver players, and I'm hanging on to them in the club. The reason why is because you never know when they're going to be needed in a squad builder challenge, because normally, because the silvers are rarer than golds, because silver packs aren't opened as much, the silver players go up in value to, you know, to esteemed, etc. Anyway, you guys know the drill. We skip the boring part and head straight to the squad in 3, 2, 1. So here's the squad for episode 5 of Draft to Glory, and man oh man, is it a nice squad. It has Neymar, you know, it's got the pace, the dribbling, the shooting, the finishing, everything you need, even the physical, with big boy Aubameyang up top. Aubameyang was just fantastic for me. Every time I get a Robin or an Aubameyang in that partnership area up front, they're just fantastic. And when Neymar was there to complement it with the 5-star weak foot and 5-star skills and that pace, you know, he did lack that physical, but it didn't matter at times because Neymar was able to, you know, dominate that part of the field. But, you know, what a team this was. It had Gundogan, informed Gundogan. He's fantastic this year. Modric's defending capabilities are insane. His defense on his card isn't the best, but... very sorry, you know, as I said at the start, quality YouTube. Anyway, you guys have seen the squad, and what a fantastic squad it is, but you know what happens next. We head straight into the gameplay. I'll see you inside. Okay guys, so inside of the gameplay, we indeed go. We come up against our first opponent, and he had not a bad team there. Nice BPL squad, with Ibrahimovic and Lukaku, you know, using that physical up front was definitely a tough opponent because of that physical that both of those strikers had, especially in this year. I find physicals very important, as well as, well, pace isn't as important as it has been in previous years. Let me just say that. However, we ended up taking the lead with a nice face shot from Turan, and Turan is brilliant this year. I mean, he's got the 4-star skills, and his dribbling and pass, he's a great all-rounded midfield. He lacks that defensive capability, but other than that, you know, Turan is, you know, he does the job. But as you see, Ibrahimovic goes in line, and what did I tell you about that physical? You know, it was very hard to prevent, or very hard to stop, because, you know, with those big, tall, strong strikers, such as Lukaku and Ibrahimovic, all you need to do is cross it in, and they're good to go. But I see Aubameyang on the far side making a run in the 45th minute, and he's able to slot that home, and he's not missing from there. Aubameyang His finishing is just fantastic this year, you know, especially that inform card. You know, informs don't sort of faze me as much as they have in previous years. I mean, I've tried out Aubameyang's inform card, and to me it just doesn't seem this, but look at this for a goal. Triple tap across the box, and what a brilliant finish from Turan. You know, I thought Neymar would give up. Did you know how they get down to the line? And EA have added in this thing this year where it goes into the line and your player pulls out so that it gets a throw in or a corner. Well, Neymar didn't do it this time, but as you see there, Robin was able to make it 4-1, and indeed my opponent did rage quit. So that was the first victory, 4-1 in the first round of the draft. As you'll see by the match stats, I did indeed dominate this guy, because he just didn't quite have that capability to keep up. But not a bad first win, 4-1. As you see, Neymar ended up getting man of the match with who was that? Not quite sure, but as you see by the match stats, we did indeed, you know, fair beating towards my opponent. We moved on to the second opponent, and he had Aubameyang and Robin himself with Koeman as his front three, with that, you know, De Bruyne Payet partnership in midfield. And this defence was hard to break down. I mean, when you look at it, it doesn't look as difficult, but as you see, my opponent does get the first goal. He moves down the line, Aubameyang in behind, and Aubameyang is just not missing those, you know. His finishing this year is just too good. As I said in previous videos, I believe, you know, Aubameyang's finishing is just as good as Ronaldo's, because it's just fantastic. But as you see, in the 73rd minute, it took us 73 minutes to equalise, with Neymar breaking through. And as you see there, a nice tidy finish from Neymar, and his finishing as well is fairly good. But Neymar, for me this year, he's got the pace, the dribbling, and the 5-star skills, which benefits his game. However, one thing I don't like about him is his physical. As I said before, physical this year is just, it's one of the most important aspects to a game, to a player. And Neymar just doesn't quite have that. You know, he's only got about 60 physical, and for me that's just not quite enough. But as you see here, straight from kickoff, I mean, look at that. Straight through my defence. See, the way I defend is I use my midfielders. I don't draw out my defenders. And it works 90% of the time. However, sometimes my opponent can just run straight to the defence as they just stand there and watch him go by. As you see there, I think it was, who was that in defence? I'm not quite sure who it was, but he watches him run past. He watches Koeman run past him. However, we were lucky enough to equalise with Neymar in behind. Brilliant goal from Neymar, using the outside of the foot, and those outside of the foot shots are OP this year. As you see there, he uses that shot, and in off the post, it did indeed go to penalties. So as you see, I did practice penalties, but as you'll see, I'll wind through that, and you guys will see that we did indeed pull out a victory. Last penalty, we did dominate these penalties. You know, my opponent didn't get many in, and Aubameyang was able to slot that down the middle. So the second victory this draft episode, you know, decent victory. It was head and shoulders. However, sorry, not head and shoulders, it was head to head. You know, my opponent was decent, but I believed I did dominate that game quite enough. And when he got that goal with Koeman, I just thought, you know, another one of these easy games, you know, where you're going to lose from domination. As you see there, the match stats, I was able to get a few more shots in possession than my opponent. But we moved on to the third round. My opponent had, once again, a really strong strike force with Lewandowski and Lukaku, as well as Martial. And Martial this year, as low rated as he is, his finishing is just fantastic. But as you see, we took the lead in the 17th minute with Aubameyang. Once again, he's just not missing from those positions. Like, Aubameyang's, especially the driven shot down below, his finishing is just fantastic. You know, you're going to hear me say that a few times this episode, because really, it just is. You see, I put it through to Neymar, does a fake shot, and back inside with a driven pass, and I was able to find Modric, I believe, who was able to tap that home in the back post. But 2-0 in the early stages of the game, and you know, when you get that 2-0 lead, it's obvious that you're going to walk away with a win, and that's what all the pros aim for, is the 2-0 lead before half-time. And that is indeed what we indeed got. So we gave away a penalty. However, in the 52nd minute, as you see, Lukaku steps up and he's able to slot that down there. I went the right way. Lloris should have got a hand to that. He was in the right body position. He should have at least got, a fingertip to that, but his arm bent backwards for some reason. I have no idea what happened there, but you see here, we win a corner in the 71st minute. Neymar was able to go down, do a body feint, and a few skills on the edge of the box. Skill moves this year aren't as OP as they have been previous years, as they seem slower to me for some reason, but a poor clearance from my opponent. And Aubameyang, once again, his finishing just, proving how good he really is this year. And making it 3-1 in the 73rd minute, and that was nearly guaranteeing me the win. So as you see him doing the new EA celebration, very nice celebration that is. I don't mind this one. Especially when you want to get into the opponent's head, it works. So my personal game plan is to get into my opponent's head using the shush and the can you hear me, as well as the long celebrations, which then make them not concentrate as well. But we moved on to yet again another final. My opponent had Muller, Pogba, Konoplyanka in the midfield, a bit different, but I suppose that's his squad. Schneiderlin, playing at centre-back. I didn't know why he would have him there, but I'd probably rather Schneiderlin, to be honest, at centre-back, because Schneiderlin has that 6 foot, he's got that the tallness, the solidness, if you like. But we're able to take an early lead there. As you see, nice 1-2 at Turan, and he's able to slot that home into the bottom corner, and that was a nice goal, a nice 1-2 on the edge of the box, making it 1-0 in the 11th minute. And I thought, well, here we go, another victory in the final. I was getting my hopes up. However, we were able to also hold on, which, another victory of a draft. It was 1-0, I was happy. This is our 3rd win out of the 5 entries, and when you take into account of last episode's disconnection to the EA servers, you could nearly say that we could have had at least 4 wins out of the 5. However, I mightn't have even packed that Informed Kaloo if I hadn't have gone out in the first round in the last episode. But as you see, we got a 5k pack and a 50k pack. We ended up getting a few decent players. There's a silver player that went for, 800 coins or so. A few decent players that went for, 300 or 400 coins. I'll take that. Whatever we can get in this series is what will benefit us in the long run. So as you see, our coin total as well is at the 30k mark. So we at least got have 2 entries left. 3 entries after we open the 50k pack left to continue the series. And as you see, we didn't get anyone in the 50k pack, which is very disappointing, because to me 50k packs in the draft are the card weight in them seem to be lacking. I mean, on my main account, I did pack Di Maria in a 50k back from a draft. However, I've opened so many of them from the draft, because I've won the draft on my main account so many times. And to be honest, Di Maria has been my best player. And when you think of how many drafts I've played, it's fairly poor. I've won, I think on my main account, I've played around 20 drafts and I've won about 16 of them. So, when you take into account that that's the best player I've got, it's a bit sad. But as you see, we go and list up all the players, and some of the players that don't they only go for around 650 coins, they're more than likely better to quit sell. The reason why is because if you sell them for 650 bid or 600 bid, you actually lose tax. So you're more than likely better off to discard them to get more coins. But that'll be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button to help it grow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's try and hit 10 likes once again. And if you have any questions down below, chuck them in the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer them in the next video. That'll be it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed your day. That'll be it for me, and peace.